Okay, Lance, little before and after from our session today, right? So let's put a little box where your head is. A few lines outside your hips. So what we're working on with regards to looking at the pressure mapping, you know, what's going on under your feet, is just, especially for a wedge, just way too much pressure loaded up under the trail foot as we get up to the top, and hanging on your right foot too long as we start the downswing, right? By the time you're starting the downswing, you should already be starting to see that white dot move towards your left foot, or be moving linear, right? And it's just not moving. So you're just hanging back on that right foot as you start the downswing. So we're looking for reasons why that could be, right? And the biggest one is just how much you're moving your head, right? So you're moving your head down and to the right. So the first thing that we got you doing was moving up to the top and just keeping your head over that stick on the ground, right? That's like your little visual image. So you're staying centered as you get up to the top, better. So that's the first thing we changed. And then what we're changing as well is, as we get up to the top, a little bit more wrist cock as we get up to the top, and then keeping the wrist cock as we start to come down to P6, right? So you're just coming down and you're independently uncocking that left wrist, right? That's the best way of saying it. It's like, once you get up to the top, you should have like a package. Your elbows close together, the wrist cock, the wrist angles, the right wrist being bent. Keep that package as you start pushing down into that left foot, down to P6, right? So you're a little short there, so I'm saying go a bit further, go a bit further, go a bit further, and you get it down to there. And the point is, you've kept that wrist hinge to keep that angle, right? Whereas you come down and you independently uncock that left wrist, right? So when your shaft gets to P6 here, you can see how short your hands are, nowhere near over your right thigh, and that's where you see the pros. They always come down to position 6 with their hands over their right thigh, and it's only after that point that their left wrist starts to uncock, right? So if you come down to there, you can see how far forward your hands are getting. Now you're not hitting a ball, it's just an exercise, a drill, and you're exaggerating it, but I'd prefer you to get that feeling of exaggerating it, right, where your hands are forward and the shaft's leaning forward, than having your hands too far back and having the shaft not leaning forward at impact. So you can see how, you know, your hands are back here, behind your left shoulder, right? There's your left shoulder coming straight down, whereas there's your left shoulder. Now your hands are past it. So that's the correct sort of feeling you want. You won't be doing that. You won't be doing that in your actual golf swing, but because we're not doing that enough in the swing, you want to exaggerate it, right, to build up those feelings. So that's a much better sort of action there. You want to keep the wrist cock down to P6 and only uncock that left wrist after P6. Much better. Good, mate. Excellent.